It's Derek. We're in the CBSDC green room with LP. Welcome.
Hi, how are you, Derek? What's up?
I'm doing good. My question to you is, how do you prepare your whistle? How do you make sure that it's intact and it's ready for performance?
I don't really prepare. I should prepare. I usually like chugging a bottle of water does it. You know, I just like, it's kind of like the first indicator of like that my voice is going to be intact as well, because you have to be like hydrated. It's kind of like if your lips are chapped, you're probably dehydrated most of the time.
When did you learn to incorporate the whistle in music? When was that? When was the first track that you did where you're like, wow, the whistle's gonna work?
I think it was Into the Wild was the first time on my last record that I put the whistle to the test. I was excuse me, I was recording the song and I just laid down the ukulele and we were putting down some bass, and I was sitting behind the producer and the engineer like playing along and whistling that like subconsciously. I didn't even know what I was whistling, and they were like, "What is that melody?" I was like, "I don't know," and they're like, "Just go put it in there," and that was the whistle. And then I was like, "Oh wow, I'm gonna have to whistle this on stage." It was like kind of a daunting. I was like, "Am I gonna be able to do that?" Like, if people, if I'm laughing or something.
How did you perfect your whistle? I mean, did it take practice? Whistling while you work, literally?
It's like a skill, like anything else, I guess. Yeah, it just like kept going, and I think I got better, like really, um, you know, dare I say, like penetration. It just, the whistle has to like, it just like, it goes deep. Yeah.
And I've heard you whistle, and it does penetrate very deep.
There you go. Well, there you go, Derek.
I like your whistle penetration. It's very satisfying to me. We asked you this question earlier, but I wanted people to hear it. I asked you if you've ever been in a bar fight. Can you tell everybody about that experience and where it was?
It was on a train bar car, and it was just, I don't know, just a melee broke out. Like two of my friends were fighting, and then I just remember some guy like fell on me, and I'm just like punching him, like like some. It was just like, I don't know. It seemed really silly at the time. I don't even remember. Like there was no like, there wasn't that much like anger in it, but everybody just started beating on each other. I don't know. We were like teenagers, so it was like, we should have been in the car anyway. We were like fake IDing it, whatever. It was a sordid story. Don't let your kids on the train. That's it.
And were you guys consuming alcohol at that time?
We were drinking beers.
You're drinking beers underage on a train.
Beers on the train, beating people up.
I can envision the saloon fight from like the Wild West when you tell me that story.
I mean, bar fights are fun to watch on TV. I mean, they're not nice or anything like that. I wouldn't recommend them, but yeah, this seemed like that kind of thing. It was just like, good fun.
When you were performing "Lost on You" earlier, I was really thinking about the meaning behind the lyrics, and I felt like to me, this is how I interpret it, right? So everybody is subjective. Everybody interprets music differently. But I was like, I remember being in relationships where like I feel like I invested. It was almost like a transaction. I invested all this time, and then like when they just let me go so coldly, I was like, but I did all of this for you. How could you do that to me? And that's kind of how I felt. But I mean, I hate to sound cliche, but what was your inspiration or the genesis behind that song?
This one was a little more complicated. Like it had, we didn't even really split up officially for another year after I wrote the song. Like that was the thing. It was kind of like insidious the way it went down, because it was like happening in front of me, in my like as we were like together. Like I was started, when you start feeling that like kind of lonely feeling when you're in a relationship. Like that's the worst, I think, when you're in a relationship and you're just like, why do I feel lonely? That seems odd, especially, I mean, if you're home together. So I felt like that, and I just felt like this person it wasn't registering what I was bringing to the table. And I think it was a two-way street. It's, the thing is, when I started this record, my inspiration was like Paul Simon and some of those songs he wrote, like Still Crazy and like Slip Sliding Away, and these like super adult, like kind of like dilemmas that happen in relationships where it's not all clear cut and nobody's necessarily right, but it's deeply hurtful and very it cuts very deep and makes you question everything about yourself, and one of those good times.
really a good time?
It wasn't the bar fight days, you know, like
The bar fight, good time.
days of, you know, whatever and roses.
LP, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. And your single Lost on You on 94.7 Fresh FM. We're in the green room, CBS DC.